Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Swoop podcast. It's Dante Fantuzzi, and I'm here with my partner
Josh Sanchez.
And we hope everybody had a good break. It was a good fun weekend for sports, especially football. And Cabrini's break is now ended.
Yeah,
We're here
spring
to
break
come
is
back.
over.
We're happy. Everything's good. Our subject today is going to be mainly football, something we haven't touched in a while. I think
It is the off season, so
off season, but I think it was about 2-3 shows.
Yeah.
That we went without talking about sports. Football.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring it back. Everybody is pretty aware about the NFL Combine that happened from March 3rd to March 6th.
Yeah, it happened over the weekend.
Just
ended today. The DBs were today.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there is some special talent going on.
Yes.
Going on and going around this combine, and this draft seems to be something special. In my eyes, I think it's going to be something special.
I agree. Well, based off of certain positions.
Yeah, and breaking news, John Ross beat Chris Johnson's 40-yard dash record and didn't win no island. Didn't win the island because he had Nike cleats on.
And he also was experiencing cramps while he was doing the 40.
Yeah, and I think it's a bunch of baloney that he doesn't win the island. So I think Adidas really did gag them, but it is what it is. Pretty soon he's going to be an NFL superstar receiver, which he has the potential to be.
Yes.
To probably buy an island, so who really cares now? Our first topic is, mind you, I did say a couple seconds ago, it's going to be mainly football. No other thing. It's going to be, well, not mainly, but everything's going to be football. Our whole show today is on football. I repeat, on football. So me and Josh were discussing about, if we were Howie Roseman, the GM for the Eagles, what will we do? Or, as I shall say, what moves will we make if we were in the same position as him? And
this is only opinion.
Yeah, it's only opinion what Josh would do if he was GM, what I would do if I was GM. Josh, do you want to start off with your moves, or should I start off with mine?
I'll start off with mine.
Hit it, brother.
Like, recently, we've had all these talks about trading for Brandon Cooks. But the thing is, if you trade for Brandon Cooks, you got to give a first round pick. I think that there's so many great prospects in the first round that I wouldn't give it up. I would not trade for Brandon Cooks because you can see other guys in the draft that are exactly like him in the draft that you can get later in the round.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't waste my first round pick on Brandon Cooks. If I was the Eagles, I would get rid of Connor Barwin. He has to go. Only
would you
2
do
sacks.
Would you cut him or trade him?
Well, I believe the Ravens have talks with him. I would try to trade him and just get as much as you can get for him instead of cutting him for nothing. So I'll try to trade Connor Barwin and then draft a pass rusher or sign a pass rusher in the free agency. I don't know who exactly is in the free agency, so I can't really give you a name. But Connor Barwin has to go. He can tell he plays better in a 3-4 than a 4-3. He had a very down year.
I agree with that. I agree.
Receiving wise, I later on in the show, you'll see why I'm not really thinking about receivers, but I would try to get a good veteran receiver that can mentor the young guys, like a Kenny Stills or Torrey Smith.
Breaking news today, Torrey Smith was just released earlier today by the San Francisco 49ers, so I'm pretty sure he's on the Eagles watch list because we did talk about trading for him before the trade line, for the trade deadline ended last season.
And the problem is, so a lot of people want Deshaun Jackson, but Deshaun Jackson is going to cost you $10 to $12 million. And I'm not willing to pay $10 to $12 million for a veteran. He's a great talent, but depending on what happens in this draft, we don't really need Deshaun Jackson for that much money. Where we get someone for cheaper. But yeah, I would try to get Torrey Smith, get a veteran guy, have Jordan Matthews in the slot, and then draft a couple receivers in the draft.
Other news: the Eagles have sources report that they are open to trading Jordan Matthews.
Yes.
And that's something I personally, if there was an opportunity to,
Yeah, if there's
I would
it
totally
depends on
take that
it depends
opportunity.
on how much he's worth. Like if he's worth
I
like
don't think he has much value
yeah,
to
he
him.
does not have that much
I
value.
don't think he does.
I would give Matthews another year with better talent around him
He is
and
in a
then see
contract year, and we did
yes.
see when we had another well, when we had Jeremy Maclin, he
Yes.
was close to that 1,000 yard mark.
Yes. So I just want to see. I'll give him one more year, see how he goes. If he another subpar year, get rid of him, trade him, get whatever you can get for him, just like with Connor Barwin. But that's pretty much what I would do if I was Howie. I would just wait for the draft and then see how everything plays out.
Is there anybody that you would cut or sign right away?
Torrey Smith, I would try and sign him. But other than that, I wouldn't really make any moves yet until the NFL draft is passed. Once the draft's passed and I see who I drafted, if there's still positions of need, because I know we need offensive tackle, we need an offensive lineman, which I think we can get in the draft. I'll talk about that later. I have a couple good linemen that we should get.
Okay.
And we do need a pass rusher. And as well, another question is Michael Kendricks. Because he has great ability, but this past year, he missed a lot of tackles. And with Jim Schwartz's system, your middle linebacker has to be really aggressive. And Kendricks he's a really good blitzer, but one-on-one tackling, he's a little iffy. But I would give him another year again. I wouldn't really, I would stick to what I have now, see what I can get in the draft, and then go at free agency based off of what we still need.
Okay.
So what would you do, Dante, if you were the GM?
If I'm Howie Roseman, the first thing that I will automatically do is, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's doing it already. Having trade discussions about, Connor Barwin, Michael Kendricks, Jordan Matthews, and just waiting for Ryan Matthews to get a little bit more healthier, so that way you can cut him.
Yes.
Personally, the first move I would make is releasing Ryan Matthews. That's the first move I would make.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's taken $4 million into our salary, and he's not productive. That plays into a big factor because he is injured a lot, and he is very injury prone. So I think that really plays a key factor in everything. Another move I will make is gonna have to be on the defensive end, and I'm gonna let Benny Logan walk.
The Redskins were having good talks with him.
Yeah, he's gonna hit that free agency market, and there's a lot of teams gonna be coming after him.
Yes.
But personally, I will let him walk. Him walking, I'm not gonna be too depressed about. Last year he was injured. Remember, he had the injured hamstring.
Yes.
But his time injured, his reserve, which we just signed, what's his name? Bo Allen.
Yeah.
I believe he played phenomenally well in his absence, and he was a big defensive presence, and I think he can fulfill that reserve of Benny Logan leaving. That's personally something I would let happen. Like I said, I'm not going to be too pressed over it. Something else I would do is if I can't trade Connor Barwin, he's really... If you can't trade him, I personally will release him.
Yes, he needs to go.
$8 million into our salary.
Yes.
See, I keep saying salary cap because we don't really have a lot of salary cap money. I mean, right now, what do we have, like $12 million, something like that?
Around that range, yeah.
Yeah, between 8 to 12. We were somewhere around there. I was reading online or something like that. One source said 8 million, another one said 12. So I really don't know whether it's 8 or 12. But if, whatever happens with Connor Barr, we can't find a trade partner with him, I would personally release him so then we could save some money. Cut Ryan Matthews, like I said. And Michael Kendricks, he's not the same productive Michael Kendricks
yes.
that we had when we first drafted him. He's not the same, nickname Angry Bird player that he was. I think he's fallen out of it. I don't think he can get back to it. Maybe he can get back to it, maybe with another team, but here in Philly, I can't see him doing it anymore. I don't think he has that it or that drive anymore that we were so accustomed to seeing, but when we signed him to that contract extension. Another move that I personally would make is to just get rid of Nolan Carroll. Totally get rid of him. I personally never liked him here when he came to Philly. I liked the trade that we had got. I was thinking, okay, maybe, we traded for a good corner. The reason why I would have thought he would have been something better here in Philly was because when he was with Miami, he wasn't really getting much playing time. But now I can see why he wasn't getting much playing time. Because, every time we turn around, he's getting burnt on the field or he's getting toasted. So, I mean, now I can just see why. But one thing that did play into his favor was that he was a versatile corner. And he's able to play outside corner and slot. So that was something that I found to be a key trait for him. But I just don't think I think his time here in Philly is just done, and it's time for him to go as well.
Here's a statistic. The Eagles were the worst team in the NFL on third down and 10 or more. We would always, percentage-wise, we were the worst team in the NFL. We allowed the most yardage plays on third down in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which is completely unacceptable.
Besides the statistics, you could pretty much see it on the field already as it is. We lead the league last year in most yards allowed. Most yards allowed,
over 20 yards. Over 20 yards.
Yeah, we did. We led the league in allowed yards of 20-plus yards plays in the league, if you can get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Big plays, pretty much.
Yeah, but a lot of that has to do with our cornerbacks and really.
This draft is so deep.
Ron Brooks did get hurt. It was a big blow to the team because I think he's a good corner. I just think the whole hamstring issue was.
He ruptured it, so
he's
not going to be the same player.
It was bad. It wasn't. It was just sad to definitely hear that news because, not only was it sad for him, but for the team, it really hurt the team.
Yeah, because since he got out, Michael Jenkins had to play
Jenkins
slot.
had to play the slot, which means Jalen Watkins had to play safety.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see that Mike Jenkins and McLeod safety tandem that we're all ready to see. I'm definitely ready to see it. That's just another move that I would make, releasing Nolan Carroll. Something else that I would, personally like to see the Eagles do, which is a big disagreement with you. I personally, we are going to talk about our mock draft later, but if there was a serious negotiation to get Brandon Cooks to play for the Eagles, I would definitely trade our first round pick for him. I say it like this. There's so many discussions about us drafting John Ross, which is, they compare him a little bit to Brandon Cooks. But the one thing that Brandon Cooks already has over him, he's already in the league.
Yes.
He knows how it feels, and he already has 2 1,000-yard seasons. He was on pace to have 3, but his rookie year he got hurt and was done for the season. So, yes, I would do that trade. And the thing about that trade, though, that just gets to me is the fact that he has 1 year left on his rookie contract. So it'll be tough to try and convince him to re-sign with the Eagles if we actually did do that trade. Because, how would it be if we trade for this person, as in Brandon Cooks, and he doesn't even want to re-sign with the team after his first year with the team? And then we literally gave up our first round pick, which is 14 for him. So that's
and there's some value for 14.
Yes, there definitely is value because there's just so many ways that the Eagles can go with that pick. And it's to me it's a little nerve wracking. That's going to be the hardest part, trying to get Brandon Cooks to re-sign with the Eagles.
Yes.
Um, Something else I would definitely do is if we can't get Jason Peters to take a pay cut, because he's not, in my eyes, he's not the same $12 million
No.
tackle that he was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. He's definitely not worth the 12 million in my eyes. If he can't take the pay cut, cut him. I would definitely cut him right away. I mean, he's 34, 35 years old, getting paid 12 million. Yes, there is value to him, big value. A lot. If he was to get released,
The
met
Vikings would take him in a heartbeat.
I can see any team taking him in a heartbeat. But I mean, we're just in so much. I see that. I personally think that the Eagles are just in so much need for money that there's big name players on our team that I'm just really willing to cut or trade or just something so
Pretty
we
much
can have
start
some type
over.
of money. Another thing I would try and personally do if I'm Howie Roseman is try and sign over some veterans to the team. I mean, there's plenty of free agent wide receivers. Um, let's just say if the Eagles were be able to trade for Brandon Cooks,
Brandon Cook, yeah.
I would definitely say, hey, we got our speedster. Um, let's try and get a big body on the team. Let's try and go out and get a Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall, I think personally still has so much value to him. The reason why he had a down year last year,
Fitzpatrick was
because
awful.
the whole quarterback play for the New York
Yes.
Jets was just awful, and he still ended up with 700 yards with 59 catches, something like that. So I personally think Brandon Marshall
Don't
still
forget
has
Alshon
plenty.
Jeffrey too.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is that
He's gonna want a lot of
I
money.
would I would love to have Alshon Jeffrey with us, and our wide receiver coach was his wide receiver coach with the Bears for 2 years, and those were the 2 years that he's snapped with the team. I believe he had 1,300 receiving yards and
He's a
double
beast.
digit touchdowns. So that's something I would definitely like to get into play if he was able to trade for Brandon Cooks. Definitely get a big body opposite of him
Yes.
and see if how Jordan Matthews can work in the middle. And another thing I would personally do is sign Jamal Charles. I believe that 4 million that we're giving to Ryan Matthews we can give to Jamal Charles, maybe a 1 year deal, 4 mil. Um, After his 1 year is up, we're obviously going to see how he plays. Let's see how he is.
Yeah.
He definitely fits well in our system. The fact that he's a hyperbird back, I mean a hyperbird, sorry, a hybrid back. He can run the ball, catch the ball. You can definitely move him around the field. Um, and another thing I would have to say is the Eagles just have to draft well. I'm Howie Roseman.
Yeah. This
I'm
draft. This draft
taking,
is key.
yeah, I'm not solidifying one plan. I'm taking multiple plans. I'm gonna have multiple options to go with, and I mean everybody. Yes, it's definitely not a secret. We need receivers and we need corners. Definitely not a secret.
Yes. Not a
But I
secret at
mean,
all.
I'm going trying to go many different ways. And the one last thing I would definitely try to do is sign AJ Boye over from the Texans. I believe I really like him, but I just think the reason why he won't sign over is because he's going to be demanding a lot of money. I think that's one problem, and that's really a problem. Another problem we have. So I say it like this, and I'm going to talk money now. I'm going to get in the numbers. Let's say we currently have $12 million. Okay, you release Ryan Matthews, that saves you 16. You cut Connor Barwin, that saves you 20. You let Benny Logan walk. Fine. I'm not pressed about it.
Mm-hmm.
We already signed Bo Allen to a contract.
Yes.
You let Nolan Carroll walk. Fine. Whatever. I'm not pressed about it. We have $20 million. You let go Jason Peters. That puts you at $32 million. Now you have $32 million. You can move around. Now you can go out and sign that $12 million receiver, as in Terrell Pryor, or Alshon Jeffrey, or
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
you
Yeah.
know that $12 million receiver, okay? and they're coming a lot younger and maybe more production to the team than what Jason Peters will have. And now let's say if we were able to get that big body receiver. Let's say we were able to sign Alshon Jeffrey. We're back down to $12 million. Right back to point A. We make the trade for Brandon Cooks. Yes, we give up a first round pick. That's something I'm willing to do if I'm Howie Roseman. Fine, not a problem. Do that trade. That leaves you at $18 million because sources went and said his contract is basically $2.5 million because he's still on a rookie contract. So that'll leave you at $18 million, $17 million, depending on how it goes. You have $17 million now. So now we done covered basically something that we done needed, and now we have more options for Carson Wentz, and we have, two big name receivers.
And then
you have the speedster Brandon Cooks, and you have the big body Alshon Jeffrey or Brandon Marshall or Terrell Pryor. So now they're right that alone right there is amazing in my eyes. What does that leave you at? $15 million. Cool. See, this is where it comes in a little tough to play, because let's say we have $15 million. I would like to sign over AJ. You know what? Let's just leave AJ Boye out the picture. We know he's not. I personally can't see him coming to the team to Philadelphia for the simple fact he's too high demanding for money, and we don't have that much money. So definitely, I would like to see us sign Jamal Charles to a 4-year. I mean, not a 4-year deal. 1 year, $4 million, maybe 5. Max is 6. Nothing above $6 million. So that leaves, let's say, 15. Talk number $5 million. We're just gonna go give him $5 million. That leaves you at $10 million. After that, yes, we're gonna have to address the cornerback position.
Yes.
We don't have to get somebody big, but somebody solid like Prince.
Yeah, but that's also about drafting. We also got draft.
Oh
picks too.
yeah. That's not a problem. Prince Amukamara, who is worth maybe $5 million. Just somebody that's Logan Ryan. He's gonna probably can't see him coming over neither because he's probably gonna be too high demanding for money as well. He's gonna want 7 to 10. Who knows? But now those are just the moves that I would make.
Yeah.
But just out of curiosity and thought, because I was thinking about this, the best teams in the NFL, and we're gonna say it's in my eyes the best teams in the NFL:
New England Patriots, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I hate saying that.
Who
else?
Steelers, Ravens.
Who?
The Ravens are consistently there.
I want to consider them one of the best teams in the NFL. And the Packers. We look at all of those teams. They don't have great defenses. I don't think we should, have. I really don't think we need a great defense, because we look at the teams with great defenses.
I don't know about that. Defenses do win championships. You need to make that key stop.
But think about it though. Do the Steelers have a great defense?
No, and that's why they haven't won.
They have a solid defense.
That's why New England killed them.
Do the Packers have a do the Packers have a great defense?
Terrible defense. That's why they didn't make the Super Bowl.
Do the Patriots have a great defense?
Well, not like player-wise, no, but statistically-wise, they were number 1 in the NFL.
I'm talking player-wise.
Player-wise, they're not like really known guys, but
thank you.
They have
so
a
you
couple
really
good
don't
guys.
need a great defense. What the point that I'm trying to make is what you just said. You don't have to have great players. You can have Jim Schwartz is in my eyes, a very, very good coach. If we can get our defense to come together and feed off of each other's energy, and when one player gets going, the rest of the defense gets going, then our good defense will play like a great defense. That's just the point I'm trying to make. You don't need a great defense. They can be good players. The difference is they would have to play together as a team, the team chemistry on defense, and you just don't need a great defense. Because when we look at the teams in the NFL with great defenses, where are they?
Seattle, they won.
The Arizona Cardinals, great defense. Where are they? I can't say the Seattle Seahawks because every year a key player in that Legion of Boom is taken away. So I mean they
When they were
have
together, they
a
won a Super Bowl
yeah
and dominated.
yeah. Who what
The
another
Broncos, the
another
Broncos
team? The
defense.
Broncos. Where were they this year? Yes, last 2 years ago they won the Super Bowl, but this year they didn't even make the playoffs this year. So the point that I'm just trying to make, and I'm going to say it again, you don't need a great defense to win. Period. That's just the point I'm trying to make.
All right. Well, we gotta move on to our next
Got to
topic.
move on to our next topic. Um, Basically now, what me and Josh decided to do was we both watched the combine. We didn't watch it together, but we definitely did watch it
Over the weekend, yes.
over the weekend. And I called him up, yo, bro. Pick one player. Could be any player.
Well, we
You
decided to do a
decided.
mock draft. That's all. One player per round.
No, 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 no. Oh, the mock draft is after this.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I called you and told you focusing on one player that you would like to see the Eagles draft, and why. Give an NFL comparison.
All right. Well, I'll go first.
Go ahead, Josh. You got it first.
All right. Well, this one guy is also in my mock draft too, but
Okay.
Forrest Lamp out of Western Kentucky. People are comparing him to like a Zach Martin. His 40 time was like a 4.9, close to a 5 range. Bench press, 34 reps to 225. He's athletic and he's versatile. He can play to guard and he can play to tackle. But the thing is with him at tackle a little bit, because of his size, that's the reason why the NFL is like they said a little bit shaky at him at tackle. But he can play both guard and he can play tackle.
Okay.
And his versatility is his strength. And the Eagles need like a spark on the offensive line, especially if you let Jason Peters walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can be like a guard, or he can be that guy when someone's injured on our line. He can switch positions and fill a need that we have. And I personally like it. I saw him in the combine. I like how he's athletic. He pulls well. He goes downfield. He blocks zone read pretty well. And I just think, and we can get him in the second round, third round.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be a high profile first round pick. That's someone we can get in the second, third round that can make a good impact on our team. And that's pretty much my guy, Forrest Lamp.
All right. So I definitely did watch him. I definitely did like him in the combine. I definitely think he did kill the combine. But I'm going a different direction.
Which is fine. That's perfectly fine.
A player that I was looking forward to wasn't at the combine. He didn't get invited, and it's sad to say because he does have off-field issues. The player that I would like to see the Eagles draft is running back out of Oklahoma, Joe Mixon. He definitely reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell, LaShawn McCoy, Jordan Howard. Those are three. I mean, I couldn't really watch him. I watched him and I watched his highlight films and everything like that. And I just seen three different players in one player. And the reason why I say LaShawn McCoy is because he's a one-cut player. I'm going to make one cut and I'm going. Le'Veon Bell because he's just so patient like Le'Veon Bell. He waits for his blocks to develop. He takes his time for the zone reads,
Yes.
for his zone reads. And he's a player that you can move him around the field like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell can definitely catch out the backfield. I mean, you can line him up in the nickel. I mean, not
Slot.
nickel, in the slot.
Yeah, I got you.
You can definitely line him up in the slot. And Jordan Howard, because Jordan Howard, I mean, the reason why I got the Jordan Howard impression is because Joe Mixon has great balance like Jordan Howard. I believe they both have phenomenal balance. They can definitely shrug off a tackle that a low tackle to the knees or the ankles and keep their balance and just keep running. But the thing that really stands out between those two, but not really stand out, but they have in comparison, they don't have that burst of speed. Mm-hmm. They're fast, but they're like we've seen faster running backs in the league. Mm-hmm. Joe Mixon, the strengths that I got out of him is he's a strong, tough kid. He's listed 6'1", 226 pounds. can catch the ball out of the backfield. Like I said, he's gonna be a risk taking, but I think he's gonna be a high risk, high reward player. Definitely because of his off the field issues. The one incident that is just really out there, um, he punched a girl in the face and it was caught on video.
Oh man, domestic violence.
Yes, he punched a girl in the face. That's
That's what gets him.
yeah, that's what really really draws that image of him. But I definitely feel this is something the Eagles should take a chance on. I mean, I definitely they took a chance on Mike Vick. He had the dog abuse stuff. So
He had a good year. He had good
yeah,
years
so
with
I
us.
definitely can see them taking a chance on Joe Mixon. And I believe he's a perfect fit for our offense. Like I said, he doesn't have great breakaway speed, but he's a patient runner and he waits for his blocks, and he just explodes through that hole. But he doesn't
That's
have
good.
that great breakaway speed. And
That's pretty much it.
yeah, but one little thing that I think he should work on, personally, is the same thing LaShawn McCoy does. When they run with the ball loose.
Oh yeah.
When LaShawn McCoy runs, he runs like the ball is just waggling back and forth from his hip to out and back to his side. And really, you can really lose the ball like that easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something, that's just one little thing that I think he should work on. And that's really the player that I took. I really wished he was there at the combine to to display his skills for his 40-yard dash and everything else.
Yes.
So that's just the player I'm taking.
All right, now moving on
Now
to
moving on, we're gonna hit our
best part.
Eagles 7-round mock draft. Something I was definitely excited about.
I'm excited too.
I mean, I had the jitters in the cafeteria and class
Yes.
before this, so I'm definitely excited. So Josh, to start off our mock draft, I'm gonna let you go first.
You're gonna let me go first.
Yes. Now I'm gonna play Roger Goodell. In the first round, 14th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select
John Ross.
John Ross.
And here's why I say John Ross.
Okay.
Because I want us to go cornerback, but the problem is after seeing the combine, I think Humphrey from Alabama ran like a 4.4, and he's 6'1" in his DB and is a defensive back. For a big guy running a 4.4, I was looking at all the mock drafts, and all the top corners were gone in the top 10. I really want us to get Sidney Jones from Washington. That guy, he can cover. He's a lockdown corner from Washington. And if you get the chance, you can look at his highlight tape. He's shifty. He can break. He breaks to the ball fast. The only thing that's with him is tackling, but coverage wise, he's amazing. And then I was thinking Mike Williams. Well, Mike Williams is top 10. He's gone.
Okay.
And people say Corey Davis, but I want us to get a speedster. I want someone that can just take off vertical threat. And John Ross, after seeing his 40 time and knowing that he did it with a cramp
And breaking the record.
and breaking the record,
Definitely breaking that record.
he's definitely going to be in the top 15.
Uh-huh.
Why not take a chance on a speedster?
Okay.
And this is if we don't take the Brandon Cooks trade. We get a guy that's pretty much like a Brandon Cooks, fast, shifty. He just has to prove himself in the NFL. That's the only difference between him and Brandon Cooks. And that's why I'm going to go with John Ross. His speed, able to shift and break. And with Carson Wentz, man, we want to see a deep ball. So now he's about to get one now. For a guy that runs a 4.2, 40.
Okay.
How
So you're
about-
going John Ross, right?
Yes, all right. Now I'm going to say it to you now. I'm Roger Goodell with the first round with the 14th pick. The Philadelphia Eagles select.
Cam Robinson, offensive tackle out of Alabama.
Ooh, you're gonna go offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle, and let me tell you why.
Offensive tackle.
Like I said earlier,
Yes.
you release Jason Peters, saves you $12 million. Who's going to be his reserve?
Yeah, Vitae.
I'm pretty sure the
but-
people who's going to be listening to this asked, well, who are we going to have? Who's going to protect Carson Wentz on his blind side now? Cam Robinson. Let me tell you why. The best offensive tackle coming out the draft. My eyes. Okay.
Yeah, he's always been a first round pick. Like he's always been the best.
He's always
lineman
been
in
that
his class.
top tier
Yes.
player.
He
Offensive
proved it
tackle.
in the combine too.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent
And
combine.
he killed it at the combine too. Like I said, he would be the reserve. He would definitely protect Carson Wentz. And I say it like this. What's a running game? See, I believe that was our biggest problem last year. We didn't have a running game. What's a passing game without your running game developed?
And that's another guy. You can also
you
go with
can't-
Cook too.
If you who?
Delvin Cook.
Dalvin? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I agree with that.
Yeah,
But
that's
really
what I'm
though,
saying. Like those are the three guys, but they're gonna go.
What can he do if your defenders are already in the backfield as soon as you get the ball?
Yes.
Literally, what can he do? There's not much you can do. That's why I take Cam Robinson, offensive tackle from Alabama, with my first pick. I definitely like this kid. He can definitely pull. He's strong. And I don't think he's athletic, but he lacks it some ways. But I believe he can make. I believe his skill talent definitely makes up for it.
Yes.
And that's my first round pick.
I like that first round pick. Do you like John Ross or?
I like him, but I mean, if we like you said, if we had the chance to take Brandon Cooks, I would take Brandon Cooks over him. Because Brandon
that's
Cooks is
just-
still only 22 years old.
I know that's just saying that we don't take the chance for Brandon Cooks. I would just get a guy that can just
Yeah.
go.
I mean, if we can't get Brandon Cooks,
Because you'll see,
if I'm Howie
you'll
Roseman,
see,
I'm definitely going Cam Robinson with my first pick.
you will see later why I said him in the first round. You just watch. All right, ready? Second round,
Second round, Philadelphia Eagles select.
Forrest Lamp.
Okay.
And the reason why is because he's versatile. Just like I said, he was my favorite player to watch in the combine because I just liked how he was. I liked his speed. I like how he can play tackle and he can play guard. And perfect film to watch of him was when he went up against Alabama's star defensive end. I forget his name, but he's first round pick.
You talking about Jonathan Allen?
Yes.
Okay.
He was on Jonathan Allen and shut him down pretty much the whole game as a left tackle. And seeing him that game was where that highlight tape, that's when I was a true believer in his potential. So you would go Cam Robinson lineman first round. I would get my lineman in the second round with Forrest Lamp.
Okay.
That's if we take him.
All right.
So now, Eagles with the second round pick. The Eagles select.
Wide receiver Cooper Kupp. However you say his last name. I think it's definitely time for the Eagles to address our wide receiver position. We definitely lack depth. We really have subpar receivers. Well, really not even subpar. We have horrible receivers. You have a receiver who can only, well, he's not really a receiver. Our tight end, Zach Ertz, who
He needs
only
some
shows
help.
up second half of the season.
Yeah, the last game.
Doesn't want to block anybody when it's time to run the ball. That's why I take a tackle in the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like I said, what's a passing game without a running game? And I believe that's where, our biggest weakness was. The defense was playing past the whole game. And it's already bad enough we don't have any receivers to catch the ball. And, this is why I take him. You have Dorial Green Beckham, who we traded Dennis Kelly for.
Yeah.
Came in, everybody was hype about it. Did nothing. He was a dud.
Terrible.
He was a dud. Nelson Aguilar, listen, this man is...
This is his final
He
year.
just
to
needs to
prove something.
leave.
He needs to leave. but-
Go. Don't even look back. If I'm Howard Roseman, don't even think twice about it. Just go. Okay. Then you have Jordan Matthews, who everybody was big on when we selected him. I mean, I'm part of that group too. I was
too.
definitely big on him.
Because he set the record in SEC for most receptions.
And can't even come to the NFL. Can't even make a reception. Can't even catch the ball.
He just needs some people around him. Then he'll.
Okay. Think about it. If you even after you put players around him, is he gonna catch the ball? It's a.
Oh yeah.
Come on
I
now.
agree. That Bears game. Remember that drop?
How
in
many
the end
times
zone?
is the ball literally? How many times did Carson Wentz put the ball right there? He can't even catch. Then what would be the point of us going to get these receivers if you can't even catch the ball? Then there would be no point for us to even give you the ball. So that's why I say second round wide receiver Cooper Kupp.
All right.
Third round, Philadelphia Eagles select.
Wide receiver, hometown native around from Delaware, Chris Godwin from Penn State. This is a
yeah.
guy
He
that
definitely made some noise at the combine.
made some noise. People were saying he was going to run a 4.5, 4.6. He's big. He's 6 foot. He ran a 4.42 for his size. Was top 5 in bench, and was the top performer in, I think, the shuttle, or when he shifts side to side. I remember seeing him in high school and how he just mossed one of my corners, and I'm like, this kid is going to be something special. And he's going to be second, third round pick. I think he's going to fall to the third round because, again, with the defensive players in this draft and other receivers have more big name than he does. Mm-hmm. I think he's that big body we can get on the outside, and we can all see the Rose Bowl, what he did in the Rose Bowl. The biggest, like one of the biggest stages, 10 catches, 160 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I think he was against Adoree Jackson, too.
I don't even know who it was. I know they definitely did play USC.
Yeah, and I think he was matched up against Adoree Jackson, and he took him to school. And, again, I think he's around the area. I think the Eagles are going to look around there. And I just think Chris Godwin would be a great fit for the Philadelphia Eagles in the third round.
Okay.
So now,
going with this. Wide receiver tackle, wide receiver. Okay.
So now here we go. With the third round pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select
cornerback out of Michigan, Jordan Lewis. Definitely we need a cornerback. The last few years we've tried to get a cornerback out of free agency. We all seen how it worked. Seen how it worked with Nnamdi Asomugha. Then we definitely signed over Kerry Williams and Brandon Fletcher. Didn't work well. We signed over Byron. We gave Byron Maxwell that huge contract. Released him after the first. Traded him after his first year with the team. And I definitely think you can, especially with this draft, definitely draft the cornerback and develop him because there's so much depth in the cornerback position. There's just so many cornerbacks coming out. And I think it's definitely time for us to draft a corner, let him grow with Jalen Mills. And the reason why I think Jordan Lewis is going to be such a sleeper pick was because he lined up opposite of Jabril Peppers, who was obviously their star defensive player. And I just think he didn't really, because of Jabril Peppers, I kind of am throwing the blame on Jabril Peppers, but just because he was there, he took that shine away from Jordan Lewis. And I followed him since this last season. I definitely followed Jordan Lewis, and I definitely liked him from watching him play. So, definitely taking him in my third round. Now, moving on to the fourth.
Now, fourth rounders, 2 selections.
We have to. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Because of the Carson Wentz trade, we got Cleveland's fourth round selection. So now, this is where I go corner. So now, round.
Wait, before I take you on that one. Yeah. I definitely forgot about this. So our fans are going to listen. I took 1 fourth-round pick.
Which is fine.
The second one, hey, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it slide. I hope you guys can forgive me. Hope you can forgive me, Josh.
Yeah, I'll forgive you. Okay. I was just excited. I looked up everything.
So, with fourth-round pick.
Selection.
Okay. First selection in the fourth round, the Philadelphia Eagles select
Howard Wilson out of Houston, corner.
Okay.
The reason why he's going to be a fourth-round pick is because in 2015 he did have an ACL tear. But he came back in his senior year, had 5 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, and had 54 tackles, and he was All-American Athletic Conference. He was one of the corners on that elite defense Houston had. The problem is, what happened last year. Houston was inconsistent with their play. But when they played those big-time schools, their defense showed up. Lamar Jackson, especially in Louisville, they shut down Lamar Jackson, and he was one of the reasons why. And they're comparing him to like a Jeremy Lane type, a good corner that can complement Jalen Mills. And I just think that he's a low-profile player. He ran a 4.5, and we can get him with our first selection in the fourth round.
Okay.
Now,
with your second selection.
Yeah, with my second selection, we're going to go pass rusher out of Kansas State, Jordan Willis. And another low-key guy, He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year for Kansas State. He's very good against the zone read. He has good eyes, good at engaging the blockers and containing the outside. The only thing is his weakness. Sometimes he's a little bit too aggressive, and he just attacks. But
Which
I
is
think,
never a bad thing.
which is never a
honestly.
bad thing. But I just think if he's able to mature with Jim Schwartz, I think Jim Schwartz can get him in the good system.
Okay.
And I just think we can get him in the 4th round. Instead of trying to get those big time pass rushers, we can get him with the 2nd selection. Now, 4th round, the Eagles select.
Defensive lineman. Okay, forgive me for saying this. He's out of Villanova.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah,
To know,
yeah, I
pass
I know
non-
exactly who you're talking about. He's a beast.
if you when our listeners hear this, look him up. I'm definitely saying his name wrong. Forgive me for that one. But the reason why I select him in the 4th round is definitely because we're gonna I believe we let Benny Logan walk in free agency, and we're gonna definitely need somebody. And I definitely believe we're gonna move Connor Barwin.
Yes.
So I mean, when we let go of Connor Barwin or trade him, whatever, Marcus Smith isn't the answer. So I believe this kid here, he definitely made a lot of noise. And I believe the last player we drafted out of Villanova turned out to be Brian Westbrook. Unless we drafted
Man.
somebody else out of Villanova, if memory serves me right. And we all seen how Brian Westbrook is. He received a lot of respect around the league and definitely tons of respect around the city. And I mean, I definitely like this kid, strong, fast, and it's just
Yeah.
uh,
I like it. I like it. You both go defensive end 4th round, so
yeah. So now we're on to the 5th round.
yes.
5th round, Philadelphia Eagles select.
I've been talking about this guy for the longest time. Corey Clement out of Wisconsin, running back.
Okay.
Just like how
Ooh, I like that. I want running back too in the 5th round.
Yeah. The reason why I went with him is because I saw him throughout the season. Wisconsin's played big games against LSU, Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. And in all 4 of those games, Clement had over 100 yards, was the leader of that offense. The reason why he's a 5th round pick, he did have one off the field incident. He had a speeding ticket or like something around there. I don't know exactly, but I was looking him up. And he had a gruesome neck injury his junior year. His junior year was supposed to be his big year for him to prove everyone that he's a star. And first game, horrible collision, like a regular football play.
First game his junior year?
Yes.
Okay.
And he had to go. He was put on a stretcher, had to go to the hospital. Comes back his senior year, runs over for about 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. And he was the guy that replaced Melvin Gordon. And I just think we can get a guy in the 5th round. He runs hard, really hard. His speed's decent. It's not going to blow you away, but he's that guy. If it's 3rd down and 1, you give him the ball, he's going to get you that 1st down. He's going to give you everything you got, everything he's got, every play. And that's why I go with Corey Clement. Now, Dante's the GM with the 5th round pick. The Philadelphia Eagles select.
My guy, running back out of Oklahoma, Joe Mixon.
Yep.
I mean, we really don't have any running backs. There's no guarantee we get Jamar Charles. I'm pretty sure we do release Ryan Matthews, and Darren Sproles was never a 3-down running back. He's definitely come to a point in his career. I don't think he's gonna decline in play, but his age is definitely starting to become a factor in his play. So I mean, I believe this pick right here, Joe Mixon, is gonna be a pick for the ages. I have so much faith in this kid, and I believe, with our tackles and Lane Johnson and Cam Robinson, if we were to select Cam Robinson, and Jason Kelsey, if he can definitely be the Jason Kelsey we've seen, and Brandon Brooks, this kid Joe Mix is definitely gonna go a long way, a long, long way. Like I said, he reminds me of Shady McCoy. One cut gone. Um, I say Le'Veon Bell 2.0 can definitely run the ball. He's patient, waits for his zone reads to come, waits for his blockers to set up. Then he's gone. He hits the hole hard, and you can definitely move him around because he's such a good pass catcher out the backfield. So good. Highlights is definitely you have to look up his highlights, and my fifth round pick.
All right, I like it. We both go running back 5th round.
Yeah. All right. Now, in the 6th round of the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
All right. Well, this one's going to be a little bit shaky. I'm going to go Dwayne Thomas, cornerback out of LSU.
So you're drafting 3 corners in the draft?
Yes.
Wow.
We need a change.
Wow, 3 corners in the draft.
No,
Okay.
I believe it's only 2, actually. I got 2 receivers, a lineman.
Oh, yeah. I apologize.
So now this is
I
my
apologize.
second corner.
Okay, I apologize.
I know
Sorry.
it's good. And the reason why I go Dwayne Thomas is because for a 6th round pick, coming into his senior year, he was going to be known as the best corner in college football. And in the middle of his senior year, tears his ACL. He was not at the combine because he's still recovering from it. But I think the comeback is going to be real. And with a 6th round pick, why not take a chance with a 6th round pick and turn into something special? I mean, there is some pass rushes probably deep in the draft, but I would just take a chance on this kid, give him a shot. The injury really hurt his draft stock. And he didn't run a 40, he didn't do anything in the combine, so we don't really know. But looking at his highlights, he has some shutdown corner ability. Now let's just see how he recovers from his injury. Okay. Now, with the 6th round in the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select
cornerback as well, Chidobe Awuzie.
Ooh, Awuzie.
Corner for people that don't know who he is. Cornerback out of Colorado. Was getting plenty of attention and plenty of notice and starting to get considered one of the best corners in college football. Definitely the reason why I like this kid. He's versatile. He's a versatile corner. He's like Jalen Mills, a man-to-man corner, not really a zone corner. Versatile as in, he can play outside and slot. He's not really long, but he can he can get aggressive. He's fast, really fast. I'm not saying maybe a little over exaggeration or really fast, but he's fast. He definitely shows good play recognition. Watching his highlights countless number of times. I can't even count with my hands how many times he read the play and broke it up in an instant, or I can't remember what team they were playing against. They tried a wide receiver screen, and before the ball even got to the receiver, he's already there for the tackle. He has great play recognition.
Now, did you say Awuzie?
Awuzie, yes. Chidobe.
His 40 time was a 4.43. So he's fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's fast. Bad man.
And one thing, though, that I think can definitely play into this, he shares the same agency as Carson Wentz.
Oh, snap.
Him and Carson Wentz have the same agent. So I definitely think that's going to play a key factor into him coming here. And, I wouldn't be surprised out of the other 5 players I named, he's going to be one of the players to come here. I wouldn't be surprised. And whoever listens, don't be surprised if he definitely came.
That would be cool.
I would love it. And especially in the 6th round, you just read his 40 dash run.
4.43.
4.43. I'm really excited about this kid. I'm really, really excited about this kid.
Now here comes the 7th round.
7th round.
Everyone's going to sleep.
Nope.
3rd day.
Exactly.
People are doing stuff.
The 7th round pick that I have, I'm not going to say who it is because I'm going to let you go first. So before all of that, in the 7th round of the NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
All right. I'm gonna say it. His name's pretty hard. His first name's easy, Jerry, but his last name is Ugawoki or Ogagowi. He's an offensive tackle from William Mary.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'7",
Damn.
321 pounds.
Josh, I'm not trying to disturb you or cut you off, but I really don't even want to hear the rest of this pick. The
Why?
last 6'7" lineman we had turned out to be King Dunlap. I mean,
But
oh my gosh.
hey, for a 7th round pick, great size.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Redskins have their right tackle. I don't know his name exactly. I'm sorry for you Washington fans. I don't really follow the Redskins like that. But he is 6'7", and he's one of the best tackles in the game. He was a Pro Bowl selection too. So I mean, 7th round pick, take a shot on a good tackle, let him fight, use his size, see how he does in the NFL. Try and get on the team. That's why I look at a 7th round pick.
So work your way.
Work your way, yes.
Work. All right. Now I'm definitely
All right,
excited
here
about
we
my
go.
7th round pick.
Now with the 7th round pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select.
Linebacker Hardy Nickerson.
Ooh.
Definitely if we did do something with Michael Kendricks, we already do have Jordan Hicks and Nigel Bradham there. Yes, but linebackers are 3 linebackers on the field, sometimes 4 depending on how your defense is run, your defensive scheme is, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But linebacker Hardy Nickerson is the complete opposite of Michael Kendricks. Hardy Nickerson, okay, his junior year, he was literally considered the quarterback of the defense for UCLA. He had finished with 112 tackles his junior season. Then he transferred to play for his dad at Illinois. His dad is one of the coaches at Illinois, the assistant coach to Lovie Smith, who was the Illinois football head coach. So he was a big transition. He didn't finish with as many tackles as he did his junior year, but he definitely finished with a high number of tackles. I think it was like 70 to 80 tackles. I know we do have, what's his name? Joe Walker. Everybody says Joe Walker's a gem. He's a diamond in the rough. But I mean, we don't know because he did get hurt. So I really don't know what we have in him just yet. And I'm pretty sure nobody else knows unless you have a ton of confidence in this kid. But I mean, for the meantime, I definitely do take my 7th round pick, linebacker Hardy Nickerson. He does have like I said, he has a thing for tackling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's
something
really,
we need.
Yes. He's just, excuse me. His tackling, he's just a great tackler. Looking at his highlight tape, the man is a wrap-up tackler, but he can definitely give you that big hit though, that can get the whole team pumped and everybody going. And another thing that I think stands out. See, one of the things that I believe is gonna that are a weakness to him is his size. He doesn't have great size, but neither does Michael Kendricks.
Yeah.
I mean, Nickerson was listed 6'6" as a linebacker. I mean, he doesn't have great size, but I believe with his tackling mobility and he's fast. I mean, he has recovery speed. He can recover to the ball in a heartbeat. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's not the linebacker that most teams need to have in our day and age, where our linebackers need to keep up with our tight ends and our running backs. But I definitely do think that he has recovery speed. For instance, I mean, his one highlight play, the ball got dumped in the backfield, and he was in middle linebacker. But he can play any 3 spots, inside, outside, middle. He was literally in the middle of the field. The running back was, towards the sideline, and by the time the ball got there, Hardy Nickerson was there, waiting for him to literally put his hands on the ball so he can tackle him. So that's what I mean by he has great recovery speed. And that's it.
Is that it? Anything else you want to wrap up with, or?
That's it. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on
Yes.
YouTube And follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, at Josh and Dante.
They're at Josh and Dante.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is Josh and Dante signing off.
Swoop!
Swoop!